Standard form and factored form. Does anybody remember what standard form looks like? Right, no parentheses, and it's what? You were right. AX squared plus, perfect. And what does factored form look like?
X. 3x 2.
Yeah, it's just two binomials, right? And like Damien said, that's a good way to remember it. Standard form doesn't have parentheses, factored form does. Simple as that. Okay? So to go from factored form to standard form, we FOIL. But to go from standard form to factored form, we need to factor. And that's what we're doing on this paper. It says to factor each completely. That just means we need to figure out the two binomials that multiply together to get us back to this. So remember, they're two binomials. So that means I have 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces to fill in. What do I definitely know my first times first is going to be? X times X, because I got to get to this X squared. And then how am I going to figure out what I put in my last spots? Do you guys need to split up? Okay, then not the greatest common factor, but all the factors of that last number, right? So what are my factors of 8? 1 and 8 and
2 and 4.
2 and 4. Which of those factor pairs could I use to get to 6? How do I, how? 2 plus 4. A positive 2 plus 4 gives me 6. So that tells me what to fill in to my last spaces here. I just put plus 2, plus 4. Good on that? Questions?
No, that's it?
That's it.
And here I am this morning, so
I'm not lying, but that's the easy one. Now we're taking it up a level. So in number 2, we still want to factor completely. We want to come up with two binomials that multiply together to get us back to this original expression. However, in this one, there is something that I can do first that's going to make my life a little easier. Do you notice anything about 4, 32, and 60? You can divide them by 2, but you can divide them by even a bigger number. 4. The greatest common factor here is 4. That means I can factor 4 out. And I'm going to do this first. So think to yourself, 4 times what would give you 4b squared? 4 times what would give us 4b squared? Yeah, just 1b squared or b squared. 4 times what would give me negative 32b? What's 32 divided by 4? 8. So minus 8b. And then 4 times what would give me 60? What's a quarter of an hour?
15.
15.
Yeah, come on.
So it's a quarter to 3. That'd be 2:45. Okay. Got 4. Okay. So now I've factored out this 4. So now I can just factor this part inside the parentheses to come up with my two binomials here. So I got to look at, well, first of all, what's my first times first going to be? It's not X in this one, it's...
Oh, it's B.
Yeah.
Shut up.
So B times B. Thank you. Okay. And then I need to look at this last number, my 15. What are my factors of 15? 1 and 15, 3 and 5. Which of those pairs are going to get me to 8?
1 minus 15 minus 1.
What?
5 plus 3.
15.
5 and 3 get me to 8. 5 and 3 are going to get me to 8. How do I get to negative 8 with 5 and 3?
Negative.
Yeah, both have to be negative to get to negative 8. So that means I'm going to have B minus 5, B minus 3, and then this greatest common factor that I factored out, that 4, that just goes out in front. So yesterday, I had you just start from right here and factor. Yeah. But it gets a lot more complicated when we have that number out in front, right? That's why it's really helpful to take out the greatest common factor first. Because this is much simpler to factor than something like 3. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yes. Okay. Jocelyn, do you want to take a little bit of notes? Okay, so for, yeah. Say sorry.
Don't apologize.
Ante, then apologize for lying about Dylan. There you go. Come on, you're being recorded here. Be on your best behavior.
How do you record our class?
I usually don't, but I am today. You don't have to be. You could be good. Okay, now what's, yeah. I'll give it to you later, but I want to teach this first. Number 3, so I have a number out in front, don't I? Do I have a greatest common factor? Could I factor something out? No.
Yeah.
No.
The 2.
No, the 2, because I can't take a 2 out of 11.
If you try hard enough.
Well, I could, but then I'd end up with a decimal, and nobody likes decimals.
So you get rid of the decimal.
Well, then it's not going to be the equivalent anymore. We got to leave the 2 this time. We have to leave the 2. So, but we're still, stay with me, we're still factoring into 2 binomials, right? That means still we have 4 spaces to fill in.
So
what is definitely going to be a part of my first times first? P. Because I've got to end up with P squared. So I have P times P will give me that P squared. And then remember this, we got to make our little T chart.
Oh, we're doing that?
You're only able to factor something out if there's a greatest common factor, yes. Okay, and I'm looking at 2 numbers now. I'm not just looking at my last number anymore. I have to look at my last number and my first number, yes. So what are my factors of 2? 2 and 1, and that's it, right? So definitely my first times first is going to be 2 and 1. 2 and 1, I know that's going to be there. And then what are my factors of 12?
13 and 8.
What? 1 and 12. Get your cheat sheet out. What else? 1 and 12.
12.
Did you just notice that? Okay, so let's try 1 and 12. right? So remember, my first times first is going to give me 2. Oops, that was supposed to be a 12. And my last times last is definitely going to equal 12. But now I need my outers and my inners to get me to 11. Okay, so 2 times 1 gives me what?
2.
And 1 times 12 gives me?
12.
Do 2 and 12, could I use those numbers to get to 11? It's not going to work. So let's try flipping them around instead. What if we did, instead of 1 and 12, what if we did 12 and 1? 2 times 12 is? And 1 times 1 is?
2.
1. 1 plus 1 is 2, but 1 times 1 is 1. 24 and 1, is that going to get us to 11? No. Okay, so that means that 1 and 12 is out. That's not going to work. Let's try 2 and 6. 2 and 6. What's 2 times 2? And 6 times 1 is? 4 and 6. Can that get me to 11? No. That doesn't work. What if we tried 6 and 2? Whoops. 6 and 2. 2 times 6 is? And 1 times 2 is? 2. 12 and 2, is that going to get me to 11?
No.
No. Okay, so 2 and 6 are out. So let's try 3 and 4. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's just tedious. It's different. Yes, if you want to go and grab a whiteboard, you can. Yeah, fair enough. What's 2 times 3?
6.
And what's 1 times 4?
4.
6 and 4, is that going to get me there? Oh, geez. Life is so hard.
Oh my God, I know.
Let's try 4 and 3. What's 2 times 4? And what's 1 times 3? Can 8 and 3 get us to 11? They can. 8 plus 3 equals 11. Thank goodness. You're right. It's a plus 8 and a plus 3. That does not mean I put plus 8 plus 3 here. Unfortunately, it's not that simple. I need to put 2 and 1. Those are my first terms, 2 and 1.
And don't you put 3 and then 8?
Yeah, 3 and then 3 and 4. Yes, because my 2 and 4 need to be my outers. So I put my 2 there. That's my outer. My 4 has to be my other outer. And then 1 and 3, those are my inners. So I put my 3 right here. And everything's positive in this one, so I just do plus plus. Okay? We okay? Sort of, kind of? 2p plus 4? Yeah. No. You could flip it so it would be 1p plus 4 times 2p plus 3, right? But if you switch the 3 and the 4, watch. I'm just going to show you this so you see it. I know. 2p times 3, that's 6p. 4 times 1p, that's 4p. I'd end up with 10p instead of 11p. So I have to make sure the 2 and the 4 are my outers. The 1 and the 3 are my inners. Does that make sense?
No.
The other thing you can always do is you can multiply this back out. You can FOIL it back out and make sure that it's right. There. Let's do another one. Let's look at 4. So 4, does 4 have a greatest common factor? No, it doesn't. Does not. So we are just going to need to factor this into 2 binomials. That means we have 4 little places to fill. What is definitely going to be a part of the first times first? P. I think you walked in and did something to him. Cut it out, you guys. Cut it out. Cut it out. Okay. Now I set up my little T chart. And what does my first times first have to equal?
3.
No, 10. 10. My first times first has to equal that 10. What does my last times last have to equal?
18.
Good, 18. Okay, so what are my factors of 10?
1 and 10.
And?
5 and 2.
2 and 5. What are my factors of 18?
I do not know. 2, 4. Is that right? 2, 4. 2, 3. 2, 2. 2, 8.
Closer.
2, 7. 2, 6.
Bigger, bigger.
2, 9.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
3 times?
2.
No.
4.
No.
6.
Yes. Okay. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but not knowing those off the top of your head makes this a lot harder.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You don't need to be sorry. You need to do some multiplication flashcards.
Okay.
Is what you need to do.
Really?
Yeah.
Where can I get those?
They make apps now. You don't even have to write them out like I did.
Well, I do like right now.
You could write them out. I've got index cards. You could take some index cards and I could help you make some. That would be helpful for you for sure. Okay, so which ones do you want to try? Give me 2 pairs to try. Hey, come back. Because we could just go through every single one, but that's going to take a long time. What ones do you have a good feeling about? 2 and 5. Remember, we're trying to get to 3.
10 and 1.
I already chose 2 and 5, so choose one from the 18 list.
2 and 9.
Okay, 2 and 9. Let's do 3 and 6. Let's try 3 and 6. 2 times 3 is? And 5 times 6 is?
Oh, yeah.
Are 6 and 30 going to get me to 3? No. So what if we flipped them? What if we flip them?
Oh my God.
What's 2 times 6?
2 times 6 is 12.
And what's 3 times 5? Can I use 12 and 15 to get to 3?
Yes.
How?
Subtraction.
Huh? Good. A positive 15 and a minus 12. That's it. You said subtract. That's good.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. So now I know my first terms, right? I'm looking at my T chart to fill this in. Jocelyn, Damien, I need you to cut it out.
Okay.
Don't do it. Just go sit down. Or walk around over there, but stay away from him.
Yeah, don't touch him.
2 and 5 are going to be my numbers out front. Don't walk toward him. Don't, Jocelyn. Don't. Just stay away. Don't cross that line. No. Jocelyn, don't. I don't want to get mad.
6.
Yeah. 3 and 6. So I put 3 first and then 6. Perfect. My outers, 2 times 6, that needs to get me a negative 12. So I'm going to put my negative right here by my 6. My inners, 3 times 5 have to be positive, so it's going to be a plus 3. You should see a calculus problem.
How's that?
Huh?
How's that?
How's calculus? I really loved it, but I really love math, you know. But it's like a whole page of work for one problem.
Oh crap. I'm not
I want to do that. Study. And never have to this. I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, number 5. Do I have a greatest common factor in number 5? No. So I just got to go directly into my 2 binomials. I've got 4 spaces to fill. What is definitely going to be a part of my first times first? N's.
That's my house. Oh, fuck.
What?
I have 2. I already have one.
Oh. And then I make my little T chart. What does my first times first need to equal?
9. 16.
Good, 9.
You said first, you dummy.
What does my last times last need to equal?
60.
Good.
65.
60. Don't worry about the negatives yet.
Okay.
Okay, what are my factors of 9?
1
and 9 and
3 times
3 times 3. And what are my factors of 60?
1 6. And 5. 2 4. 2 9.
No. No. What's half of an hour?
Oh, 25.
30.
What? Oh, you said 4.
3 times what?
20.
Yeah. 4 times what? And 5 times what? 5 times 12. Okay. So again, this is a lot of things to try and check. Please put that back when you're done, okay? So which one do you have a good feeling about in my 9s? 1 and 9 or 3 and 3?
No, 3 and 3.
You want to try 3 and 3? And
2 and 30.
2 and 30? 3 and 2 would be 6. 3 times 30 would be 90. 6 and 90, is that going to get me to 44?
Oh, shit.
If I flip these around, is it going to change anything? No. So let's try something else. What do you want to switch? You want to try 4 and 15? 3 times 4 is? And 3 times 15 is? 45. 12 and 45 going to get us to 44? No. So give me something else to try.
Go with 1 9.
Let's try 1 and 9. We'll leave the 4 and 15 there and see what happens. What if I... 1 and 9. 1 times 4 gives me? And 9 times 5, that's going to be way too big, isn't it? What about the other way around?
Oh, yeah, that's good.
15 and 4. 1 times 15 is 15. And 9 times 4 is 36. No, that's not going to get us there either. I'm going to give you a hint. 1 and 9 is good.
Okay. It's 40. 6. What did we try?
Oh, wait, yes. But not this way. What's 1 times 6?
6.
10 times 9?
No, that's 90.
No, that doesn't work. What if we flipped it, though?
No, that won't. 1 times 10 is 9.
Are you sure?
1 times 10 is 10, and then 9 times 6 is...
Can I use 10 and 54 to get to 44?
No.
How?
10 54 minus 10.
Yeah, 54 minus 10 gets us to 44. So we found our numbers. 1 and 9 are our firsts. And then my outers are going to be 1 and 10. So I stick my 10 over here. and I stick my 6 over here. Which one do I make positive and which one do I make negative? 6 is positive, 10 is negative. Okay? Yeah. T-chart.
It's like diagonal.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Okay. That's good. Okay, and then we have one more to do. We've got number 6 to do really quick. And this is like numbers 8 and 13 on your paper, which you're going to do now in a second. This is like a squared minus b squared. And I see that because I look at 4 and I think, oh, that's a perfect square. What is the square root of 4? 2. So 4v squared, Jocelyn, don't. 4v squared is like 2v squared. And 81 is also a perfect square. What's the square root of 81? What's the square root of 81? 9. 9 squared. So this is a squared minus b squared. So a is 2v.
Plus c squared.
No, there's no c squared in this one. And b is 9. This equals, look up there, a squared minus b squared equals a plus b, a minus b. I looked at this, and if a squared is 4v squared, then a is just 2v. If b squared is 81, then just b is 9. It's the square root of this.
I never learned that.
We should learn square roots, but it was like, we didn't spend much time on it. It was kind of like, drawing it through like the last, it's like one of the last things we did.
There's a square root button on your calculator.
Yeah.
So that helps. You got to do second, and then the x squared button.
This one?
Nice. He's hitting me and I'm gonna even do nothing. Why do you have your backpack on, Jocelyn?
We have 14 minutes left. Okay, so this factors to be a plus b times a minus b. So it's 2v plus 9, 2v minus 9.
She's still in the chair.
He's talking about penises.
She needs to be in first grade, legit. You gotta go back to first grade. I'm about to get out of this class right now.
All right, I'm handing back your Wednesday papers, and you've got until the end of class to finish up correcting mistakes and whatnot. Just the front side of the page. You don't have to worry about the back for now. I'll show you the back. You need to grab that. That's yours. Hold on to it because we're doing the back on Monday. How is it that it's like only 50% of the class and it's still giving me a headache?
Miss Mark.
Well then,
It's okay.
As far as I give everybody a headache, it's okay. No, it is not okay.
I think what would give me a headache is if all of you were just quiet a little bit and did your work.
I was just trying to have fun.
This would be your board.
Yeah, that was that. I just use that shit for a reason.
Hey.
This is a sharp. This is a thick ass sharp.
question.
Don't be sniffing. Don't be sniffing at. Okay, I want you to draw it.
Do you have this paper?
Is that from yesterday?
Yeah, can you keep working on it?
It's on. That's what
My dad
Can you put it
How about 5?
I didn't look at myself. Fucking
Excuse me?
I'll take frisbee. I like class.
The I was the smartest.
I'm going to go.
The smartest. If you see the horrendous stuff he sent me, you would want to plug it too.
What did I send you?
What did I send you?
I was aware of that.
I never spam called you before.
You called me like 227 times. You go.
Let's get YouTube.
All that was his fault.
Miss Brad,
Wasn't it? He told you
I don't think it was that one.
Alright, Mr. McDaniels.
What'd you do?
Elise, watch out!
Please don't watch out.
What's the
Jocelyn, come on.
Can I hit her?
No.
Hey, guys.
Bro, I swear to God.
Miss Morris,
Yeah.
you're talking about adding the +1, like in the parentheses.